Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed guests, and curious minds, welcome to tonight's thought-provoking event, a friendly debate between two distinguished intellectuals. I am your host, Mr. Gene Rudy, and it is my pleasure to guide you through this evening of discourse and exploration. Without further ado, allow me to introduce our debaters. On my right, we have the professor from Online Asian University. Please put your hands together for Dr. Emma Yi, Doctor of Philosophy and renowned atheist. And on my left, we have our esteemed expositor, the voice of faith and spiritual inquiry, the renowned author of the best-selling book, Finding Faith. Please give a warm welcome to Reverend John Billy, esteemed theologian and devout believer. Tonight, these two intellectual heavyweights will engage in a lively yet respectful debate on the existence of God and the nature of belief. Let's start with Dr. Yi.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for joining us in this important dialogue. Tonight, I am honored to represent the atheist perspective, not as a rejection of morality, but as an affirmation of reason and humanism. My name is Dr. Emma Yi, and I look forward to engaging in a respectful exchange of ideas as we begin to understand that the belief in God is not only unnecessary, but also unsupported by evidence. Thank you.
And now, Reverend Billy, please.
Ladies and gentlemen, on this debate, let us first acknowledge that the question of God's existence is perhaps the most profound and enduring inquiry in human history. The belief in a higher power is not merely a blind adherence to tradition or superstition, but a deeply reasoned and profoundly felt conviction that resonates with the deepest longings of the human heart. I aim to demonstrate that faith in God provides a robust framework for understanding the universe, our place within it, and our deepest aspirations as spiritual beings. Thank you very much.
Each proponent will have a minute to share her point, and after that, the other party can either answer the argument or choose to move on to another point. Okay, ladies first.
There's always been a lack of empirical evidence for the existence of any deity. Beliefs should be based on evidence, and without any concrete evidence for the existence of a God, there's no reason to believe in one. As the saying goes, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. Imagine you're in a courtroom. The prosecution presents no evidence, just hearsay and rich imagination. The case would be hopeless.
The universe itself, with its finely tuned constants and
Please,
laws.
Reverend, let's allow the doctor to finish.
Let me tell you a story, sir. Two explorers find a garden in the jungle. One insists a gardener tends it, but the other doubts, seeing no gardener. They set up tests and waited for days to find out, but they found nobody. The believer suggests the gardener is invisible and intangible. The skeptic then asks, what is the difference between an invisible, intangible gardener from an imaginary one, or none at all? Some dreams and imaginations seem real and true to some people, but fortunately, we don't live in a dream world.
Fortune and chances didn't make our world. And despite the advances of our science and technology, we still fail to understand even 1% of the mysteries of the universe. And while empirical evidence is valuable in studying the natural world, it cannot provide answers to questions beyond the physical realm. Therefore, demanding empirical evidence for God's existence might be akin to asking for a scientific experiment to prove the existence of beauty or the reality of love. As Lewis said, some truths lie beyond the scope of empirical observation. God is not a material being within the universe, but rather the transcendent creator of the universe. As such, God's existence transcends empirical observation and cannot be subjected to scientific scrutiny in the same way as natural phenomena.
Classic answer, sir. Yeah, only not enough to change my mind. If you're in a court of law, your argument wouldn't pass.
Then it's good that truth is not up to the court. Imagine a series of dominoes falling. Each domino represents a cause, but there must be an initial push, the first cause, to set the entire sequence in motion. Like the whirling of the universe itself, with its finely tuned constants and laws, has been a series of extraordinary design with divine precision. That initial push is God.
Before we understood meteorology, thunder was attributed to the gods being angry. As our understanding grew, we realized it was caused by natural phenomena, not divine wrath. Similarly, attributing unexplained phenomena to God is a fallacious argument. Belief in God arises from a lack of understanding of natural phenomena. In other words, God is often used as an explanation for things we don't yet understand, which is a logical fallacy known as an argument from ignorance.
I am saddened to realize you have not been listening, or maybe just failed to grasp the depths to what I've said a while ago. Despite our advances, we are still awfully ignorant in a lot of things. Even the existence of a universal moral law, the idea of being good and bad, that transcends cultural and individual differences, could only be sufficiently understood in the context of a moral lawgiver, a transcendent source of morality, which can be identified as God. When we speak of right and wrong, we appeal to a standard beyond ourselves. This law of human nature points to a lawgiver, which we call God. For if there is no God, then there is no objective basis for morality.
I understand, sir, that the God you are referring to is an all-powerful, all-knowing, and benevolent God. If such a God existed, why would they allow such suffering? Imagine a loving parent who could prevent their child from suffering but chooses not to. Would we still call that parent loving? Similarly, if God allows immense suffering, can we call them benevolent?
Well, God, in His benevolence, granted humans free will, a gift necessary for genuine love and moral responsibility. However, this freedom also permits the possibility of human choice leading to suffering, as individuals can choose actions contrary to God's intentions. God's gift of free will allows for genuine love and moral choice. Without it, we would be mere automatons. However, this freedom also opens the door to the possibility of suffering, as humans can misuse their freedom and cause harm to themselves and others.
How about natural evils, earthquakes, tsunamis? That is obviously not of human choice.
Human understanding is limited. What seems senseless may serve unknown purposes. Calamities, while devastating, can branch solidarity and compassion, revealing humanity's resilience. While calamities challenge belief in a good God, they fit into God's broader plan, prompting human response and pointing towards ultimate redemption. Trusting in God's providence is key amidst suffering and uncertainty.
Anyways, this simply shows that your concept of God is logically incoherent or self-contradictory. An all-powerful and benevolent being allowing for evil and destruction to flourish. Other pantheistic religions have a more believable explanations, which, by the way, if there were truly a universal truth about God, wouldn't we expect more consensus among cultures? Imagine being born in India, where Hinduism is dominant, versus being born in the United States, where Christianity is dominant. Your religious beliefs would likely be vastly different due to cultural influences.
Religions develop due to cultural, historical, and individual factors. These diverse beliefs reflect humanity's search for the divine. Though, as I said, humanity is incapable of understanding God, God did, in fact, communicated with man. But not in a way you would like. Maybe you'd like a booming voice from the sky, or a general apparition that is globally visible. That is why Christianity offers a unique understanding of God, about divine love, salvation, whatever that term implies. Ultimately, diverse religions are part of humanity's journey towards a deeper understanding of the divine truth, which can be found in the teachings of Jesus Christ.
I believe it's time to wrap up our arguments now. Dr. Yi, please.
In closing, the arguments presented tonight underscore the logical and moral foundations of atheism. As we grapple with life's big questions, let us remember that belief in a God is not necessary for leading a meaningful and ethical life. By rejecting superstition and embracing reason, we empower ourselves to take responsibility for our actions and shape our own destinies. Let us continue to explore the mysteries of the universe with open minds and hearts, guided by reason, evidence, and empathy. Thank you.
Reverend Billy.
My friends, tonight, we have heard how faith in God offers a transformative, and fulfilling perspective on life. We learn that faith provides a coherent framework for understanding the universe, giving existence with meaning and purpose. Faith in God is not an escape from reality, but a deeper engagement with it, offering hope, comfort, and moral guidance in the face of life's trials. It is through faith that we discover our true identity as beloved children of God, and our lives are enriched by the knowledge of His unconditional love. Please consider carefully, for our eternal destiny is at stake.
Thank you, Dr. Yi and Reverend Billy. Thank you everyone for your attentiveness and participation. Don't forget to come back in 15 minutes for our next debate. Is Christianity the only true religion? This will be debated by Professor William Singh and Pastor David Roberts. Thank you and see you later.